So, hello everyone, starting with today's lecture. In today's lecture, we are going to discuss the topic number that is 27 record keeping from Keynes philosophy. In this, we finished the topics that is the value of symptoms, two parts that is topic number 32 and 33. Then we finished the second prescription. Then in this, we also finished the characteristics of symptoms. After this, we completed the topic that is idiosyncrasy, individualization, and the indisposition. So, in today's lecture, we are going to discuss the topic that is record keeping, topic number 27 from Keynes philosophy. Yes, are you able to listen?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So, in this, we are going to study the record keeping from Keynes philosophy. So, in this, for record keeping, firstly, Dr. Kent give the reference of aphorism number 103, and in this, he told about that is, you should endeavor to have a good knowledge of both the acute and chronic miasms. First of all, the image of Sora should be studied from all the symptoms that we can gather, and especially from the symptoms that Hahnemann has given in the chronic diseases. Next, we have to make out a similar amnesis of syphilis, which can be done from the books, from clinics, from observation, and that is and all the other possible sources, and then an amnesis has to be made by psychosis. So in this, Dr. Kent give the reference of aphorism number 103, that is regarding the miasm, that is study of miasm from the that is which is related to the aphorism of case taking, and in this he explained that is to enter have a good knowledge of both the acute and chronic miasm, that is to study about the acute and chronic miasm. The physician must study the miasm, that is first of all the image of Sora should be studied from all the symptoms that we can gather, and especially the diseases of Sora and the diseases of psychosis can be studied very well, and in this especially from the symptoms that Hahnemann has given in the chronic diseases. Next, we have to make out a similar amnesis of syphilis, which can be done from books, from clinics, from observation, and all other possible sources, and then an amnesis has to be made of psychosis. These are things most general and will bring before the mind in one, two, or three images a grand picture of all the chronic diseases of the human race. So, in this, he gives the reference of aphorism number 103, and in this, he told about the that is to know the knowledge of disease or to know the how to solve the homeopathic case taking. First of all, you know about the acute and chronic miasm, and in this, first of all, the image of Sora should be studied from all the symptoms that we gathered, especially from all the symptoms that Hahnemann has given in the chronic diseases, that is in the book of chronic diseases. Then you have to gather the symptoms of syphilis from the clinical observations and then of the psychosis, and you have to know about these chronic diseases very well if you know about the acute and chronic miasms. So take Sora first, for that is the very foundation of human sickness. it would appear that the human race is one enormous leper. Now add to that the state of syphilis, and we have a bad matter made worse. Then add to that the state of psychosis, and we will see that the extent of human sickness. And by knowing the chronic disease, you will know about the human sickness, and when then have the advance and carefully study each of the acute miasm from the books, from observation, and from every source of information, carefully arranging it on paper so that it can appear before the mind as an image. In this, to know about the miasm or to know about the disease condition, it is very important, that is, you should know each and every, or you can study each of the acute miasm from the book also, from the observation also, and from every source of information, and carefully arranging it on a paper so that it can appear before the mind as an image. As if your clarification of miasm is clear, or if you know miasm very well, on in front of you there are the images of miasm, that is, the sora may have this image, the psychosis may have this image, or the syphilis may have this image, and this can be after you keep the record of it on a paper. Yes, are you able to listen? Are you able to listen?
यस मॅम.
आवाज कट होतोय का मध्ये?
यस मॅम. बीच बीच में.
हो मॅम. मध्ये मध्ये.
एक मिनिट. मध्येच मीटिंग एंड होतीये आणि रेंज जातीये त्याच्यात. So okay, we will see. Now it is audible. Yes, it is audible.
Yes ma'am.
Okay. So in this we are studying about the record keeping, and in this firstly Dr. Kent give the reference of aphorism number 103, and in this aphorism 103 it is explained about the study of miasm. It is related to the study of miasm, and why they give the reference of this aphorism, that he wants to tell about that if the physician have the clear images of that miasm, he can keep the record of that case taking very well. So in this they explain about, that is, when then have to advance and carefully study each of the acute miasms from the books, from observation, and from every source of information, carefully arranging it on paper so that it can appear before the mind as an image. That if the symptoms are very well arranged on a paper, it can form the image in the mind of physician. And in this they give the example, that is, smallpox has few features, and it can be made to appear as an image before the mind. And so with the all the acute miasm, infectious diseases, cholera, yellow fever, etc., the diseases that have hetero before appear in epidemic or endemic form, these have all the appear before the mind as image. That is, if you keep the record of this miasm, in the case of smallpox, in the case of measles, in the case of cholera, yellow fever, in that, in the epidemic or in the pandemic cases, they have These all have appeared before in the mind of images, and it may be said of them that they are all true diseases seen by the examination of the totality of symptoms. As they said that these are all the true diseases seen by the examination of totality of the symptoms. So no physician can know too much about the image of a given sickness studied from the symptomatology, and this is the best information that can be obtained. Nowadays patients are not permitted to tell their story in the language of nature. The physician says, I do not want to hear that. Talk on part of the patient interferes with his prescription writing. There is no writing down of the case. So in this, nowadays it is only the concentration given to the symptoms of a patient, or the what the complaint patients told, they only write about the prescription. That is only the what the treatment is given to the patient. This is written on a paper only, and not about the patient's whole case. So it is very difficult. That is, nowadays patients are not permitted to tell their story in the language of nature, and in this the patient also do not want to tell his story to the physician, and the physician says, I do not want to hear that. And also the physician don't have that much time to hear the story of a patient. Talk on part of patient interferes with his prescription writing. There is no writing down of the case. So there is no any writing down of the case. There is only the writing of a prescription and giving the treatment to the patient. Now take for instance one of the clinics here. How would you remember from day to day and from week to week what had been given to each patient? There is no importance attached to that in the old school. It is simply their object to give the patient a big dose of medicine. It may not have occurred to you that there are several reasons of importance of keeping records and constantly referring to them. Even the regular clinicians here may not have seen the full importance of it. But suppose a patient that have been considering for 3 years is partially cured, and she has done remarkably well, has been restored from an invalid to a good wife and the mother, but it is not yet cured. So in this they give the importance of record keeping. That is, if nowadays the physician is not ready to write the whole case, and also the patient is not ready to tell about his natural story or his original story, so it is very difficult task, as there is no any record keeping in today's era. So in this they give the example, that is, if in a clinics, that is, if in a clinic the patient having some complaint and he took the complaint, and in this the patient is not totally cured, and after some days the patient comes to the physician. In this there is no any record to the physician or in the hand of a physician to see what past treatment he has given to that patient. And in this, but suppose a patient that have been considering for 3 years is partially cured, and she has done remarkably well, has been restored from an invalid to a good wife and mother, but is not yet cured. That is, he goes from the state of a wife to the mother. After the 3 years he has a wife, but after the 3 years he becomes the mother, and she is not yet cured. Now for some reasons she goes into the hands of another homeopath. What can he do without ascertaining what I have done for her? It is important for the patient, when living in the same town, to be faithful and true to the physician who has done her the most good. A conscientious physician will not feel like taking another doctor practice in that way. I am not so conceited that I should feel like taking up the work of another doctor who is able to do good work. Men who think more of getting money than anything else will jump in and prescribe for your patient. So in this, if the patient goes to the other physician, if the other physician is a homeopath, he cannot know that what the patient took the treatment and what is going in the past to the patient. So it is very important to keep the record of each and every patient, and this is the importance of record keeping. After this, Dr. Kent explained as the physician ought ever after to have this image before the eyes to serve as a basis to the treatment, especially where the disease is chronic. Without records, you are at sea without compass or rudder. With a record, Hahnemann says he can then study it in all its parts and draw from it the characteristic marks. That is, you have the nature of the disease continuously in mind. When the image of the disease has passed from mind, its very nature is gone. So in this, if the physician ought ever after to have this image before the eyes to serve as a basis of the treatment, especially where the disease is chronic. That is, without records, you are at a sea without compass or a rudder. That is, if patient comes to a physician and in the hand of physician there is no any past record present in the hand of physician also and in the hand of patient also, then the physician becomes without records as a present in a sea. That is, anyone is in the middle of a sea without any compass or any ruders. That is, no that the physician don't know what to do. He has gone in the right side, he has go to left side, he has go to which side or in the which direction. So it is totally in the dumb case, or the physician or the patient becomes totally blind in that way. That is, they don't know what to do in that cases. So keeping the record is very important in the chronic cases mostly. That is, acute case maybe the cases which can be subside in few days, but if the patient is of a chronic nature, in that chronic case the keeping of a record is very important to know the nature of chronic disease along with the nature of a chronic miasm, and along with his all signs and symptoms are very important as how the disease traveled from time to time. So this is very important to keep the record, as in this Hahnemann says he can then study it in all its parts and draw from it the characteristic marks, and from this he has to study all the case very in detail. He has to make the characteristic marks of this case, and you have the nature of the disease continuously in mind. When the image of the disease is passed from mind, its very nature is gone. So this is very important to keep the record in a chronic diseases. Then in the next paragraph, Dr. Kent explained as here a point comes in, you must know about after your first prescription has been made, you may have an aggravation. It is well to know the date of this and about how long it lasted, and to keep watch of it. If no change has occurred, the same image may continue to appear before the mind, but if changes has occurred and are continuously appearing in the symptoms, you will readily see that no medicine can be administered. The symptoms that come and go could not guide anybody as to what to do. Now a commotion has taken place. You cannot prescribe while this commotion is going on. The symptoms are changing place. They are coming and going for perhaps 1 to 3 weeks after that prescription. You have to watch and wait. Notice when the symptoms begin to roll into order, then another dose of medicine is needed. So in this, Dr. Kent explained as that is, here the point comes in, you must know about, that is you must know about these things, that is after your first prescription has been made, that is after your first prescription has been made, you have an aggravation, that is in first prescription patient comes to you and in that patient you find there is an aggravation. So in this it is well to know the date of this, that is you know the date of first prescription, that is when it is done and after how much days the aggravation comes and about how long it is lasted, that is it when it comes and for how much days it is lasted and to keep watch of it and for how much days it is lasted. So for this reason you must know or keep the record of each and every prescription, that is after the first prescription if there is an aggravation, to know the type of aggravation or how much the aggravation lasted, you must keep the record of that first prescription. Then after this, if no change has occurred, the same image may continue to appear before the mind, that is if there is no change occurred in a patient, this is also to keep in a mind that when you have prescribed the medicine after how much days or there is no any reaction or action that occur in that patient, so to continue to appear before the mind. But if changes has occurred and are continuously appearing in the symptoms, you will readily see that no medicine can be administered. So in that if there is no action occurred in between and if you know the duration of action of that medicine and when you prescribe the first prescription, in that way you can keep the record that for that much period there is action of medicine and in between this period you do not give another medicine or you cannot repeat the same medicine again. So for this reason what should be the second prescription? It is important to keep the record of a first prescription. It is very important to keep the record of first prescription for giving the second prescription. Then the symptoms that comes and go could not guide anybody as to what to do, and if the symptoms are coming and going, they cannot guide that what to do. But if you keep the record of first prescription very well, then the next prescription can be arranged according to the first prescription. Now a commotion has takes place, you cannot prescribe while this commotion is going on, the symptoms are changing place, they are coming and going for perhaps 1 to 3 weeks after that the prescription. You have to watch and wait. Notice when the symptoms begin to roll into order, then another dose of medicine is needed. And when to give the another dose of medicine, it is important to keep the record of a first prescription. Then in next para Dr. Kent explain about these things takes place only after the administration of a remedy that was pretty high enough to take hold, and the case falls into order only when the patient needs another dose. So these things are important for the patient or for the physician, that is when the physician needs the another dose of medicine, and it is totally depend upon the previous prescription. So in this, suppose a patient has been sick 3 to 4 years with a train of symptoms, and on the way to visit you from a long distance the patient is taken worse and a homeopath physician is called in. The patient gets a dose of medicine and improves wonderfully. Now what are you going to do? You do not know what it was and you write to the physician, but he has forgotten what it was. What a confusing state that is, and is it not? Well, that is just the state you would be in without records. So in this they explain about, that is suppose a patient has been sick 3 to 4 years with a train of symptoms, that is patient is suffering from some chronic disease, that is from 3 to 4 years with a train of symptoms, and on the way to visit you from a long distance the patient is taken worse, that is the patient lives that is at a long distance, and when he is coming to you, in between he taken worse, and a homeopathic physician is called in, and the patient gets a dose of a medicine and improves wonderfully. In between he takes some dose of medicine and improves wonderfully. Then now what are you going to do? Now if the patient comes to you, what are you going to do? Or you do not know what it was, and you write to the physician, then but he has forgotten what it was. The patient forgot that what medicine he has taken in between. What a confusing state that is it not? Well, that is just the state you would be in without your records. So the in between he took that medicine, if it is without any record, now what you as a physician to do in that case? So for this reason, every case or every physician or every patient must keep the record, and it having the importance of record keeping. Then there is, I have been led to feel to great carelessness often among our best men in transferring cases from one town to another, from one physician to another, a habit that has existed between another Hahnemannian and myself has been pleasing to us both. When one of his patients has been transferred from his care to my care, he has told me what remedy the patient was on, and I, in the same way, when sending patients to him, have mentioned the remedy the patient was on. It is the duty of a physician to furnish such information when a patient leaves the city to go under the care of another physician, and it is the duty of a physician to transfer such a patient to a good hands if there are any good hands to transfer him to. This subject is preliminary to the observation of aphorism number 105, which leads to the second step of the practical homeopathy. So in this last paragraph of record keeping, Dr. Kent explained as that if the patient is go from one city to another city, or if the patient is go from one hand of physician to the another hand of physician, in that case, if patient is going to another city, the physician must give the record or say that record to the another physician that patient was on that remedy, and now you can give your remedy. But to give the information that the patient was on what remedy, it is the duty of physician. याच्यामध्ये जर पेशंट तुमची सिटी बदलतोय किंवा फिजिशियन बदलतो, तर त्या केसमध्ये त्या आधीच्या फिजिशियनची काय ड्युटी आहे की आत्तापर्यंत पेशंट कुठल्या रेमेडीवरती होता किंवा कुठली रेमेडी घेत होता, तर हे दुसऱ्या फिजिशियनला सांगणं हे काय त्या पहिल्या फिजिशियनची ड्युटी आहे. तर दिस इज the duty of a physician to told the that patient is on what remedy or in next what to do. So this is the duty of physician to give the record to the next physician if he is changing the city or he is changing the physician. So this is the duty of physician, and for this knowing, the physician must keep the record of all these remedies that he has given to that patient. So this is the importance of record keeping. Dr. Kent has explained in chapter number 27 in Kent's philosophy. So in this all the record keeping in general, what is the importance of record keeping? So up till now all of you understand what is the record keeping in short? Yes.
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 What is mean by record keeping? Yes, anyone? What is the meaning of record keeping? Yes, Abhishek.
हाँ मैम.
रेकॉर्ड कीपिंगचं मीनिंग काय? Yes, anyone?
पेशंटच्या रेकॉर्ड करतात.
To keep the record of each and every symptoms or the treatment which given to the patient. Very simple. रेकॉर्ड कीपिंग त्याच्या वर्ड मध्येच त्याचं डेफिनेशन आहे. To keep the record of each and everything related to the patient, that we call it as a record keeping. It may yes, it is keeping the record of each and everything related to the patient. It may be his signs and symptoms, or it may be his what the prescription we have given to him, or what is the treatment we give to him. So it is the keeping of record, or we call it as a record keeping. Record keeping, what is the importance of record keeping? So in this, the record of keeping the record is important for different reason. व त्याच्यामध्ये जे काही डिफरंट रिझन्स आहेत ज्याच्यासाठी आपण रेकॉर्ड कीपिंग करतो, तर ते सांगायचे आहेत आपल्याला. व्हॉट आर द इम्पॉर्टन्स ऑफ रेकॉर्ड कीपिंग. मग रेकॉर्ड कीपिंगचं काय इम्पॉर्टन्स आहे, तर त्याच्यामध्ये फर्स्ट इम्पॉर्टन्स काय आहे, दॅट इज फॉर प्रॉपर असेसमेंट ऑफ द केस. व्हॉट इज द फर्स्ट इम्पॉर्टन्स ऑफ रेकॉर्ड कीपिंग, दॅट इज proper assessment of the case. Means what is the proper assessment of the case? Means if we keep the record of each and every case, or if we keep the proper record of the case, you can properly assess that case, or you can properly study that case. That is, if patient comes to you and if you keep the proper record of his or her case, then you can properly assess that case. That is, what to do for that case, how you will manage that case, that will be depend upon the, that is, keeping of that case, or the properly you can assess that case. That is, what should be done, or how to manage that case. That is, what medicine to give, then what diet and regimen you have to prescribe, then what is the prognosis of that case. All the assessment of case, or to study that case, it is important to keep the record of the patient. So this is the first importance, that is the proper assessment of the case. What is the first importance of record keeping? That is proper assessment of the case. प्रॉपरली जर तुम्हाला केस स्टडी करायचं आहे, त्याच्यामध्ये त्याची मॅनेजमेंट काय आहे, त्याच्यामध्ये तुम्हाला काय त्याला प्रिस्क्रिप्शन द्यायचं आहे, काय मेडिसिन द्यायचं आहे, मग ते मेडिसिन किती दिवसापर्यंत द्यायचं आहे, कधी स्टॉप करायचं आहे, त्याच्यानंतर त्याला तुम्हाला डाएट रेजिमेंट काय सांगायचं आहे, त्याच्यामध्ये त्याचं प्रोग्नोसिस काय असू शकतं, हे स्टडी म्हणजे केस स्टडी करण्यासाठी पहिला इम्पॉर्टन्स काय, दॅट इज फॉर द प्रॉपर असेसमेंट ऑफ द केस. दिस इज द फर्स्ट इम्पॉर्टन्स ऑफ रेकॉर्ड कीपिंग. Then the next second importance is, that is selection of second prescription. This is the second importance of record keeping, that is the selection of second prescription. That is, if a patient comes to you first time and you properly keep the record of that case, then on the basis of that first prescription you can very well give the second prescription to the patient. As you know, the symptoms are aggravated, symptoms remains stand still, symptoms are going and coming in that way, or if there is no any change in the patient, if you know, all these things can be noted if you know about the first prescription. पेशंट मध्ये काय पहिलं प्रिस्क्रिप्शन काय, त्याच्यामध्ये पहिले त्याचे सायन्स आणि सिम्पटम्स काय होते, आणि त्याच्यामध्ये आता काय बदल झाला, हे जेव्हा तुम्हाला कळेल तेव्हाच तुम्ही त्याला काय देऊ शकता, सेकंड प्रिस्क्रिप्शन देऊ शकता. सो इट इज व्हेरी इम्पॉर्टंट टू गिव द or keep the record of first prescription, and on the basis of first prescription you can give the second prescription. So this is the second importance of record keeping, that is सिलेक्शन ऑफ सेकंड प्रिस्क्रिप्शन. मग याच्यामध्ये फर्स्ट प्रिस्क्रिप्शनमध्ये काय चेंज झालं हे जर तुम्हाला कळालं तरच तुम्ही काय करू शकता, सेकंड प्रिस्क्रिप्शन देऊ शकता. मग सेकंड प्रिस्क्रिप्शनमध्ये काय की तुम्ही रेमेडी ॲज इट इज ठेवणार आहेत किंवा त्याची चेंज ऑफ पोटेन्सी करणार आहेत, त्याच्यामध्ये रेमेडी चेंज करणार आहेत किंवा प्लॅन ऑफ ट्रीटमेंट चेंज करणार आहेत किंवा त्याची कॉम्प्लिमेंटरी यूज करणार आहेत, कॉग्नेट यूज करणार आहेत. मग जे काही करणार आहेत ते कशावर डिपेंड आहे, जर तुम्ही फर्स्ट प्रिस्क्रिप्शनचं रेकॉर्ड कीप केलं असेल तर. हे कशावर डिपेंड आहे, जर फर्स्ट प्रिस्क्रिप्शन व्यवस्थित तुम्ही रेकॉर्ड करून ठेवलं तरच तुम्ही त्याला काय करू शकता, सेकंड प्रिस्क्रिप्शन देऊ शकता. सो दिस इज द सेकंड इम्पॉर्टन्स ऑफ record keeping, that is selection of second prescription depends on the record keeping of a first prescription. Then the next importance is for follow up of cases, that is follow up of cases. मग फॉलोअप ऑफ केसेसमध्ये काय आहे की जर पेशंट फॉलोअपसाठी येतो आहे, रेग्युलरली तुमच्याकडे येतं, जर तुम्ही रेकॉर्ड जर मेंटेन केलं आहे त्याचं प्रॉपरली तरच तुम्ही त्याला काय करू शकता, नेक्स्ट फॉलोअपमध्ये व्हॉट टू ॲडवाईस ते त्याच्यावरती डिपेंड आहे की नंबर ऑफ वेळेस जर पेशंट तुमच्याकडे फॉलोअपसाठी येतो आहे, मग मागच्या वेळी काय लॅक्युनी राहिलेत किंवा मागच्या वेळेस त्याच्यामध्ये काय बदल झालेत हे कशावरती डिपेंड आहे. जर तुम्ही त्याचं प्रॉपरली रेकॉर्ड किपिंग ठेवलं असेल तर तुम्ही सांगू शकता. किंवा जर पेशंट आपल्याकडे लगेच 2-3 दिवसांनी आला तर ठीक आहे, आपल्या लक्षात राहू शकतं. पण पेशंट तुमच्याकडं 2 महिन्यांनी 3 महिन्यांनी जर फॉलोअपसाठी येतो आहे तर त्या केसेसमध्ये जेव्हा तुम्ही नंबर ऑफ पेशंट बघताय तेव्हा लक्षात राहणार नाही की मी ह्या पेशंटसोबत काय म्हणजे बोललो होतो, त्यांनी काय मला सिम्पटम्स सांगितले होते, तेव्हा त्याचे कंप्लेंट्स काय होते आणि आता तो काय कंप्लेंट्स घेऊन आला आहे. तर हे सगळं माहीत असण्यासाठी तुम्हाला त्याचं काय करायचं, रेकॉर्ड किपिंग ठेवायचं आहे. आणि ते रेकॉर्ड किपिंग ठेवलं तरच तुम्ही त्याला काय करू शकता, प्रॉपर फॉलोअप बघू शकता.
मॅम कंटिन्यू का परत?
हो हो.
मॅम आता लेक्चर आहे वाटतं मॅम,
काय
असं बाकीचे बोलतात.
10 मिनिट बाकी आहेत ना आणखी. 1 वाजता आहे ना त्यांचं, 10 मिनिटं आहेत ना आणखी.
हो मॅम, सांगते मी त्यांना.
पटकन फास्ट जॉईन करा म्हणा, तेवढा वेळ त्याच्यामध्ये जातो. पटकन जॉईन झाली तर होऊन जाईल ते. So we will start with the next, that is importance of record keeping. In this, the first importance is for proper assessment of the case. Second importance is for the selection of second prescription. Then third is follow-up of cases. Now the fourth importance of record keeping is judgment of action of remedy. That is, if you know about the first prescription very well, then you can judge the action of the remedy. That is, what will be the action of that remedy, and this is depend upon if you keep the record of first prescription. That is, to know about the judgment of that action of remedy, that is how the remedy is going to act. This is depend upon, or you know this if you know the record keeping, or if you keep the record of properly the previous prescription. So this is the next importance, that is judgment of action of remedy. Then the next importance is for proving the superiority of the system. If you keep the record of each and every case, that is, if patient is suffering from this type of diseases, and if these diseases are incurable diseases, and if you keep the record of that incurable cases, and then patient goes in a state of cure, so in that way you can prove the superiority of the system, or to know, to give the superiority of your system, you must keep the record. That is, these number of cases you treat with the homeopathic medicine, or these are the incurable cases that can be treated with homeopathic medicine. This can be told if you keep the record of your case, or you can give the proof of to the others, that is, my medicine cure that patient in that way. So to give the proof of that cure of a patient, you should keep the record, and this is important for proving the superiority of your system, that is how your medicines are acting, and to know that your medicine is acting in a right way, you have to keep the record of each and every case, and this can give the proving of superiority of the system. So this is the next importance, that is for the proving the superiority of the system. In that you can give the proof of your case has been cured. Then the next importance is as a references, as in if you keep the record, this record can become the references for the future cases. That is, in past you treat that cases in that way, or what is the way of your giving the treatment. If you keep the proper record of these things, that is importance for the, or that record becomes the references for the future physicians or the future case taking. So this may be the importance of record keeping, that is as a, it can act as a references if you keep the proper record of cases. Then the next importance is for the finding of examination, and that is lab investigation. That is, if you keep the record, that is for finding of examination or lab investigation. That is, if you have to give some lab investigation, that is, in last month you give some lab investigation and you keep the record of this investigation. After some time or after 2 to 3 months, you must know that in the last month we do this investigation and you cannot repeat this investigation. So this is the importance of keeping the record, that each and everything patients do not remain or remember each and everything in the mind of physician, and to know each and everything about the patient, physician should keep record of each and everything related to the patient. Then the next importance is for the legal procedures. If there is some legal issues occurred in between the cases, and for this it is important to keep the record of your case, that is importance for some legal procedures. Then the next importance is for addition of fresh symptoms, that if you know about the past history of a patient, in that there is some new addition of a symptoms, and this may be the importance, that is for the addition of fresh symptoms. Then the next importance is for the clinical teaching. If you keep the record of each and every case properly, this can be the clinical record, and that clinical record can be used for the teaching of students. That is, if you keep the proper cases, that how you cure the patient, and keep the proper clinical record of these cases, that can be become clinical teaching for the future students. Then the next importance is that reflects the skill of physician, that is how you keep the record of each and every case, how you treat each and every patient, that will reflects the skill of physician, that is the proof of your practice, or that is the proof of your conscientiousness, that is how you are practicing or how you treating the patients. If you keep the record of these things, then that will reflect the skill of that physician. So this is the next importance of record keeping. Then for the research purpose, the next importance is for the research purpose. If you keep the record very well, that can be helpful for the research purposes, for the future planning of the system or the future research that has been done in the future. So these are the different importance of record keeping. So I think all of you understand about record keeping, and in this you have to remember these different points of a record keeping. In this first point we studied, that is proper assessment of the case. Secondly, that is selection of second prescription. Then follow up of cases. Then judgment of the action of remedy. Then for proving the superiority of the system. Then as a references. Then in a clinical or in a legal procedures. Then the findings of examinations and lab investigations. Then for clinical teaching. Then reflects the skill of physician, and then for research purposes. So these are the different importance of clinical of record keeping, that is explained by Dr. Kent in chapter number 27. So in this way we finish the topic, that is of record keeping from Kent's philosophy, chapter number 27. I think all of you understand. If any difficulty you can ask me anytime. So we will stop here. So anyone want to ask anything, or we will end the meeting? Siddhi, please send the attendance.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so we will stop here and end the meeting. Bye everyone.